Welcome back to Impact. I am Greg Adela, and let's move on to our next segment, shall we? Let's move on to the government segment of the show with Nick Barber.
Hi everybody, welcome to Impact. I'm Nick Barber, your host for the government segment, and today my guest is Vince Riggi. Vince Riggi is now Councilman-elect Riggi for the City of Schenectady. Vince, welcome.
Thanks.
Great to see you, and congratulations on your victory.
Thanks, Nick. Good to see you again.
And it was quite a victory because you were, I hate to say it, but sort of an underdog, weren't you, from the beginning?
I'm used to that role, I think. You know, being an independent and having the backing of only two parties, which a lot of people have four-party backing, you know, with the minor parties. So it was quite a victory. I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, a lot of people are calling it the people's victory because you're a neighborhood guy. We talked to you before about neighborhood and quality of life issues, and you came in with two endorsements, the Republican Party and then the Alliance group, or party if you would call it. But you were stacking up against long-term political candidates with major party backing and several lines. So your victory was quite a victory for the neighborhoods and the people. So congratulations again.
Well, thank you. I'm proud of it because I've had the backing of a lot of people, obviously, and I've heard from a lot of people since, and it means a lot, you know, to see that people are behind you.
Yes. Well, the question now is, what are your plans? After January 1st, you'll be sworn in as city councilman for the City of Schenectady. Then the real work begins. Your charge will be to, you know, get along and work with others and be effective, and I'm sure that you will. Have you thought about your entry to working with, you know, the established council? And, your approach.
And by being a person that has gone to many council meetings over the years, I'm familiar with the council and the people on the council. And
they know you by first name.
Right.
How many council meetings have you attended? You probably never counted.
I never wouldn't count, but over 18 years worth.
Over 18 years as a faithful attendee of the city council meetings. Unpaid as a citizen. That's the story. So that's significant.
But it's.
But they know you.
They know me. I know them, and I'm sure we'll get along fine. We've always had cordial relationships. We may not agree on every issue, as we haven't in the past on every issue. But I'll make sure that my voice is heard if I have concerns about issues or legislation, and I'll be the person that'll give an independent view to some of these legislations or issues that come up before the council.
Yes, some people would think that would be a breath of fresh air, you know, having a rather independent council person. Do you have any priorities? What are you thinking about, you know, as you see it unfolding? You have a 4-year term, correct?
4 years. And
so
my main issue is what my platform was. I want to see our neighborhoods revived to hopefully get them back to somewheres on track so we can get back to somewheres where we were long ago. And I'm going to stick with that, and hopefully I can convince the other members of the council. I'm going to be the minority voice there without question. All the rest of the members of the council will be of one party. So I will be the minority person on the council. And I will convince them as best I can that we have to address these neighborhood issues that we talked about and these small quality of life issues. I want to pursue my zero tolerance mentality to be put on the people of Schenectady. So this is observed and done, and I think it can be done, and I think it'll be a big improvement to Schenectady and the perception of Schenectady.
Great. That was your platform. It was in your literature. It was in your interviews. You've said it many times. We've seen the videos of you in the neighborhoods, which were pretty realistic and pretty cool on YouTube. That was great. What do you hear from the voters and the people now that after you've been elected? Is there anything different besides I got you elected? You know, everybody's going to take credit for that. But I mean, what are you hearing from them now that you won? You know, what are they saying to you, the people?
So most of the calls that I have are congratulatory. And boy, we're glad that you're finally on the city council. I think they feel that I'm going to be a a voice of the people. And I think that's what they've been looking for. I'm not saying that the other council people didn't give them that, but I've been an ombudsman for years.
Yes, you have.
Unofficial ombudsman. I've been called that in print, and now I'm going to take it to an official capacity. So I should have a little more voice, even though I'm going to be one of 7, but my voice will be heard. My voice has always been heard, but now will be heard from a different aspect of the council. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to try to get some things done and accomplished, and to be asking some questions.
Right.
I mean, I've had questions in the past, and being just on one side of the rail as a advocate, sometimes it's hard to get answers. You have to foil, or you have to be really persistent to get some things. Hopefully it'll be a little bit easier, because I'm going to have questions, and if I get the answers, and fine. I'm not going to be just a thorn in the side just to be against everything that's put up because it comes from the other side. If I think it's good legislation and a good idea, I'm all for it. If it's going to help Schenectady, I'm all for it. But I'm also going to raise questions if I have some questions about maybe an issue that maybe somebody else may not think of, because I'm going to be thinking from a blue-collar perspective, as I said before, and just give maybe a different ideas to the city council and to the mayor of what may work and what may not work from my standpoint.
So your approach is going to be constructive.
Of course.
Constructive review, constructive, I won't say criticism, but constructive inquiries.
Yes.
Trying to make things better for the higher good.
Yes, because
you don't want to just be a thorn in their side.
No.
You want to accomplish things for the city and for the taxpayers.
Yes, because I've seen this in the past. Some things, maybe there's legislation that's passed, and maybe there wasn't quite enough thought into it. Not that it was done maliciously, just that maybe some people don't see. I kind of look at things very analytical and see what could happen if we do this. You know, what could be the downside? We can see the upside pretty good a lot of times, but sometimes we're not looking at the downsides of things. And I think we have to look at both sides.
Yeah. You know, taxes are the T word, we call them in politics, because it's the most unpopular thing.
Sure it is.
Taxes. Property taxes in the city of Schenectady and other small cities and municipalities are always an issue. I think it's probably the #1 issue in New York State.
Sure.
Do you have any ideas on property taxes and how we can better the system, or do you have any take on the tax rates and the taxes in the city of Schenectady, besides cut spending?
Yes.
I mean, I know. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
In this city, you've gone through budget reviews, haven't you?
Yes.
I mean, they've cut about as much as they can cut.
Yeah.
So, is there any innovative or any new suggestions on how to keep those taxes down?
There is only 2 ways.
Yes.
Cut expenses.
Yep.
Or you're gonna cut service. I mean that's it, and nobody wants to address any one of those 2 things. But maybe again, maybe I can give an overview coming from a working man's view of maybe things can be more efficient.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make things more efficient. These are the questions that I have, and I didn't get answers to them in the past. So that's what I'm looking forward to getting is answers to these questions. But mainly, I'll go back to my zero tolerance. We have to build our tax base, Nick. If we build our tax base, then eventually taxes are going to come down. The taxes will come down if we have more people living in the city. And I saw something interesting in the paper today that the school board, and I think people should attend these meetings, and I'm not sure the exact dates, but it was in the Gazette this morning, that they're looking to maybe bring back the neighborhood elementary schools in neighborhoods. I think that is an important factor. I really believe that when we had neighborhood schools, and they started the consolidation in the early 70s, that started some of the deterioration of our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because I still remember, my parents bought the house on the corner of Euclid Avenue and Hegeman Street because Euclid School was 2 doors away, and they had a young family, and they wanted their family to be able to go to school safely. And that's important, to bring young people back into the city.
Well, that's a new one. We only have a little bit of time left here, but that's a whole nother issue.
Sure.
And, I'm sure you'll communicate with the school board as well as the city councilman and
on
other neighborhood agencies, groups, and unions, and you're going to try to work with everyone, I'm sure.
Right.
Well, we want to congratulate you again, Vince Riggi, councilman-elect, and we want to wish you well in your 4-year term on the Schenectady City Council. It was a great victory for you. Thank you very much for coming, and we hope to have you come back again, Vince.
I sure will.
You're on Impact, okay?
Thank you, Nick.
All right, great.
I'll be out there fighting for the taxpayer.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We appreciate it. Take care, everyone.